Hi, Assalamualaikum, and a very good day to our panel, Dr. Radwan Yusuf and Encik Syahril Isha Ismail. Let us introduce ourselves first. My name is Nazatul Karinisa binti Mazlan with my partner.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Aimiana Suha binti Abdul Rahman. Today we will present our research topic on student involvement in association and personality development, a study in University Teknologi Mara UiTM Seremban 3 that is supervised by Ms. Shahida Abdul Razak. So now we will proceed on the research background. Nowadays, especially at public university in Malaysia, student participation in association at university is compulsory. In university, students are involved in a variety of activities that enable them to learn and grow their personal development in meaningful ways. Participation in university association has the potential to enhance skill and therefore should be considered by all university students. Being a member of an association has the potential to influence a university student's life. The purpose of this study was to examine the relationship between involvement in university association and personality development, which involves leadership skill, communication skill, and networking skill among FSPPP students in UiTM campus Seremban 3. Now, let's take a look at the problem statement of the study. In Bulletin Mutiara, Tan and Muhammad 2021 has stated a statement by employer that said majority of fresh graduates lack of soft skill. According to Chris Kursky, it appears that too many book-smart kids are graduating from college without having any actual human abilities or even using their information skill in the real world. According to Wilkie 2019, the Society for Human Resource Management indicate that 51% of age respondents believe that educational institutions had made very little progress toward addressing the talent problem. So, there are few questions that arise regarding this matter. Do students actually have the necessary skill to succeed in the workplace? Will their involvement in organization at school help them to be ready?
Moving on to research question and research objective. It consists of 4 research question and 4 research objective. Basically, research question is the reflection of research objective. So the first objective is to identify the relationship between the involvement of students in association with leadership skill and personality development. The second objective is to identify the relationship between the involvement of students in association with communication skill and personality development. The third objective is to identify the relationship between the involvement of students in association with networking skill and personality development. And lastly, to examine the most influential independent variable, which are leadership skill, communication skills, and networking skill that contributes to the personality development of students by involvement in university association. Proceed to conceptual framework. The conceptual framework is used to show the relationship between the independent variable and dependent variable that is related to the research study. In this study, independent variables are leadership skill, communication skills, and networking skills that will be related to the dependent variable, which is personality development.
Next is the independent variable and hypothesis. There are 3 independent variables in this study. The first one is leadership skill, next is communication skill, and the last one is networking skill. Moving on to the hypothesis. There are 3 hypotheses in this study. The first hypothesis is there is a significant relationship between leadership skill and personality development. And the second hypothesis is there is a significant relationship between communication skill and personality development. And the third hypothesis is there is significant relationship between networking skill and personality development.
In data measurement, several questions were asked in the demographic profile to know the respondent background. 5-point Likert scale is used to determine the objective of the research study. In our research, the data collection has provided bilingual questionnaires in English and Malay through Google Form and has been spread to social media and email, which comprises 5 sections. To answer this statistical method, the researcher used Pearson correlation and multiple regression to run the study on testing the relationship between independent variable and dependent variable and to find the most influential independent variable. In data measurement, several questions were asked in the demographic profile to know the respondent background. 5-point Likert scale is used to determine the objective of the research study. In our research, the data collection has provided bilingual questionnaires in English and Malay through Google Form and has been spread to social media and email, which comprises 5 sections. To answer this statistical method, the researcher used Pearson correlation and multiple regression to run the study on testing the relationship between independent variable and dependent variable and to find the most influential independent variable.
Now we move on to the finding, which is the demographic profile of our respondent. Total respondent for our study is 385 respondents. So the first is gender. The majority of our respondents are female with 227, which is equivalent to 61.6%. Next is age. There are 205 respondents who are under the age of 20 years old to 22 years old, which is equivalent to 53.2%, while the other 180 respondents are from the age of 23 years old to 26 years old, which is equivalent to 46.8%. For the program taken by the respondent, the majority of our respondents are from program AM228 with 250 respondents, which is equivalent to 64.9%. Next is current academic undertaking. The majority of the respondents are degree students with 329, which is equivalent to 85.5%. For the current semester, the majority of the respondents are semester 6 students with 181, which is equivalent to 47%. And the last is association involved by the student. The majority of the respondents are involved in association of bakas with 251, which is equivalent to 65.2%.
Moving on to the main finding of the research. The first, second, and third objective, it is based on the independent variable, and to analyze these, the researchers used Pearson correlation for each objective. For the first objective, it is to identify the relationship between the involvement of students in association with leadership skill and personality development. The result is 0.729, indicating that there is a strong positive relationship between involvement of students in association with leadership skill and personality development. Therefore, HA1 is accepted. The second objective is to identify the relationship between the involvement of students in association with communication skill and personality development. Shows the result of p-value is less than 0.05 is accepted, where R value is 0.755 indicate that there is a strong positive relationship between the involvement of students in association with communication skill and personality development. Hence, HA2 is accepted. The third objective is to identify the relationship between the involvement of students in association with networking skill and personality development. So based on the result, the p-value is 0.000 is less than 0.05, while R value is 0.785 indicates that there is a strong relationship between the involvement of students in association with networking skill and personality development. Therefore, HA3 is accepted. The fourth objective is to examine the most influential independent variable, which are leadership skills, communication skills, and networking skills that contribute to the personality development of students by involvement in university association. From this independent variable, the researchers found that the most influential is networking skills because the beta value under standardized coefficient was 0.47 with the p-value 0.000 lower than 0.05.
Now I will explain on the recommendations. The first recommendation is the establishment of system merit. The institution has established a number of associations to help students network, enhance their talent and socialize, but not all students are actively interested in this association. Some students are participate in the association in order to receive a certification. The researcher recommend the university to promote student involvement in the association by establishing merit-based structure. This merit-based approach will encourage all students to participate actively in the association. To earn the required amount of merit and become eligible to graduate, all students are encouraged to participate in organized activities. The record book of student association activity must consequently be used by all students who have participated in the association to document their participation. Next recommendation is to create a policy to actively participate in association. According to Ma'dan et al. 2020, the rising issue of graduate unemployment has been attributed to the lack of graduate expertise and graduate quality that does not meet employers' expectation. The challenge for employers today is to find candidates with a diverse set of skills to facilitate and boost the organization productivity. The researcher recommended the government to enact a policy requiring students to participate in the curriculum as a condition of being absorbed into or selected for employment. The government can impose a requirement on each company for the recruitment of the new graduate. To make this policy a success, the government must collaborate with the Malaysian Ministry of Education and company executive. The last recommendation is for the committee to establish a proper schedule. The establishment of an association in the university is already good for the development of students, but there is no proper schedule for the activities of this association, so it is difficult to achieve the intended purpose. The researcher recommend for the committee members of association to establish a proper schedule of activities. A proper schedule can make it easier for members of association or students themselves to get involved in the activities of the association. With a schedule of activities, students can plan and organize their time to attend and engage in association activities.
Now, I will explain the research limitation. The first research limitation is the quantitative study used in this research. Quantitative research in this study is difficult, expensive, and time-consuming, making it difficult to raise sufficient. The researchers recommend qualitative research for future research since it saves both time and money. Next limitation is the sample size. In this study, the sample size only includes diploma and degree students from any program in FSPPP UiTM campus Raman 3 who were involved in the association. It demonstrates that the sample size is small and very specific, and thus the results may not be generalized to all UiTM campus Raman 3 students. The researchers suggest future research should broaden the sample size by including students from any program in various public and private universities in Malaysia University to make sure the conclusion can be generalized to the large population.
And the last part of the presentation is the conclusion. To conclude, this research is conducted to examine the relationship between involvement in university association and personality development, which involve leadership skills, communication skills, and networking skills among FSPPP students in UiTM campus Raman 3. The researcher had successfully answered all the research questions and hypotheses regarding the topic. The finding of this study found that there is a significant relationship between the involvement in university association and personality development, which involve leadership skills, communication skills, and networking skills. It is also found that networking skill is the most influential independent variable that contribute to the personality development of students by involvement in university association. Overall, this study shows that the involvement of students in university association affect the personality development of FSPPP students in UiTM campus Raman 3. That's all from us. Thank you.